$2,400 if you're on SSDI, SSI, Social Security benefits as an emergency stimulus check. Then $5,000 that could be landing in your bank account if the president does executive orders. He says he wants to do something right now. Will Mitch McConnell repurpose the CARES Act 1 money? But in this video, I go over grant money you can get right now that's available right now and escalated benefits that could get you upwards of $7,000 in your bank account right now. On top of that, EIDL money that could give you thousands of dollars immediately. Then, breaking news. Breaking news today as the Biden administration says, do the stimulus, do it right now. But at what price tag? It's all shocking and breaking tonight. And this is Evening's LALATE. Hey, good evening, everybody. It's Evening to LA with shocking and great developments all across the board tonight. I'm so glad you joined me in a refreshing, hot day here in California, in Los Angeles. It's Monday night. It's very hot as a heat wave unusually settles into Southern California. I'm so glad that you and your family have joined me. Please subscribe. Go to the Funds channel, subscribe, because in this video, I'm going to be detailing how to get money right now. Not 5 days from now, not 5 weeks from now, not 5 months from now. Money right now. 3 ways you can get money, and 1 way that all viewers of this channel can get money right away. Also, like this video. It really helps for the video to appear higher in the rankings. Boy, it's an incredible night, and in this video, I'll be going over 3 ways you can get money right now. This has nothing to do with Congress. It has nothing to do with the wranglings of you-know-who and you-know-what. Her way, the highway, as Sir Lorraine would say, I got lost on the highway to nowhere. But we're finally getting money, and we're getting it right now. Then I'll be turning to the shocking developments from the President of the United States. The President says send out stimulus right now. So could an executive order be coming immediately? And why is that CARES Act 1 money actually, potentially, or really more than $800 billion and could be a bigger stimulus check than even $5,000? Then SSDI, $2,400 and a 20% increase lifetime and a step up every year. It's incredible great news with breaking developments tonight about where stimulus is going for Act of Congress. Let's get to the breaking news. The breaking news is here tonight is that there's 3 ways to get money right now. And I've seen your comments. They have been incredible. And we're going to go over them right now. There are 3 ways to get money. The first way is applicable to all viewers of this channel. If anyone drops in the comments, I don't qualify, well, then you're watching with a nice buttload of money in the bank, because that's the only viewer that doesn't qualify. It's viewers that make over $48,000 a year that don't qualify. If other than that, you all qualify. So thank you and God bless if you have that money in the bank. The first group of people is the CARES Act 1 grant money. States were given CARES Act 1 money from the federal government in March, $150 billion of it, which they have to disperse to their citizens. Use it or lose it. The money landed in the states, and then the states decided to disperse it at their own whim and time to the cities and counties. Guess what? They took a little while doing it. And that's why now we're sitting here in November talking about money that they've had from March. They now have to use it or lose it. And the way they're using it is the following. Grants for rent, for food. Those 2 qualify for all viewers of this channel. So if you're still watching me to the 4-minute mark and say, I don't qualify for anything, then God bless you. You probably have about $100,000 in the bank, because that's the only type of people that don't qualify for rent and food. Next, stimulus check. That also qualifies for you. Then after that are the more restringent categories, which don't often even occur. Those are cities or counties that dedicate for businesses or for hazard pay. This CARES Act 1 money is being dispersed, and the vast majority is for rent, for food, and stimulus. The day started out with Orange County, Florida, announcing that it was doing another round of stimulus checks. And when they announced their stimulus checks, it went live this morning. And within less than an hour, they had to shut it down because they got 15,000 applications for stimulus checks. I have had dozens of success stories on this channel for people who have followed my advice and gotten their grants. They've generally been for rent. They've been in Texas, they've been in Florida, they've been in California, and they've been elsewhere. The way you find it is the following. You go on Google News, and you look for CARES Act, that's with a C, plus grant, plus your city, and then do it plus your county. You can also do it for your state, but that generally is too broad a classification, unless you're in a smaller state that doesn't have a lot of citizens. If you're in a very small town, go broader in the search. So don't look for a town that's 100 residents because your town probably was not given any CARES Act 1 money. It's given for populations of a certain magnitude. So your city would have to have, at least a certain number of citizens to get the money. Otherwise, then you would look a little broader to county. They have the money. They're announcing the money. People, and if you don't see it today, look tomorrow because they're announcing them every day or so. In California this morning, I woke up and I looked for it across the state of California. Alameda announced one today. Modesto announced one today. Los Angeles announced one for LAPD last week. They're announcing them literally all over the place. Oh, did you hear LAPD? That's Public Department of Works. They're announcing them also for utilities and gas and water grants as well. These are incredible. Next, escalated benefits. Escalated benefits. Last night on Purple Power Live, I asked how many viewers are on unemployment. And I would say about 70% of the viewers watching Purple Power said they were on unemployment benefits. So this is almost 70% of the viewers, at least of that recording, that this qualifies for. It's called escalated benefits. What is it and how do you get it and how much money is it? It's thousands of dollars that would land in your bank account right now. Before going on to recording in the studio tonight, I looked up what the highest level of weekly benefits are in respective states. Do you know what it is? For example, in California, the maximum you can get per week on unemployment, I'm not talking about FPUC, I'm not talking about LWA, I'm only talking about UI or PUA, the normal unemployment. The maximum in California is about $450. Up in the Northeast, it goes really high. It goes $800 a week. Down in the Southwest, it goes lower. Some states are about $300. Some are about $450. But most are in the range of $350 to about $550 per week is their maximum benefits. Well, guess what? You know how much you're receiving on a weekly benefits. If you're receiving the entry level about $100 a week and the maximum of your state is about $400 a week, you have about a $300 range in which you could be landing and you haven't moved. Why haven't you been moved? Because you haven't done escalated benefits. What is escalated benefits? Escalated benefits means basically that your weekly benefits need to be raised because you made more money in 2019 than a base level unemployed person. When states approve your unemployment application, they start you at the base level. They don't just start you at the level you belong until you say something to them. It's another group of people that don't do work until you tell them. Yeah. So you see where we're going with this. And so what you need to do is pull your 2019 tax return. Look at it. Look at line 1. Look at how much gross rev it is. Look at the net income as well. And if the number is over $18,000, you should be doing this. If the number is over $30,000, you shouldn't even be having dinner tonight. You should be doing it before you eat dinner. It's that much money you're missing out, and it's just ridiculous. You haven't done it yet. For people over $30,000 per year, you're generally already maxing out. Yes, $350 a week or $450 a week, and you're getting $100 a week. What are you doing here? You're watching me. That's what you're doing. And so if you're lower and you're like $18,000 or $22,000, you may raise it about $100. You may raise about $100 a week or $50 a week or $80 a week. The way you do this is the following. You pull your 2019 tax return, you scan it, you put it in your computer, you write a very nice letter to your secretary, to your unemployment department, and you basically say, please look at my 2019 tax return. Please, I'm currently getting paid this much per week for UI or PUA. Don't talk about FPUC. It has nothing to do with FPUC. And please consider looking and seeing if I qualify for more weekly benefits. Just use the word more. Don't use the word escalated. Don't use the word maximum. It just confuses people because people talk different ways in different parts of the United States. They may come back and say, what is escalate? I don't know what you mean by escalate. Just use the simple words like more. See if I qualify for more weekly benefits. And guess what? Between you and I, if you're making over $25,000, you qualify for a little bit more. And if you're making over $30,000, you qualify for maximum. How much money are we talking here? Most viewers have been on unemployment since March or April. How many weeks has that been? 30 weeks. If you raise your unemployment for the entry level to the maximum, that could be a 200-point raise. Let's just sort of say you raise it halfway. $100 times 30 weeks, $3,000. You raise it all the way to maximum, $6,000. Or if you're in the Northeast, it could, $8,000, $9,000. It's just a lot of money. Do it right now. This is right now money. The last one is EIDL. This qualifies for about 45 to 55% of my viewers. I asked viewers last night, how many of you are independent contractors in any capacity, and how many of you are not? How many of you are unemployed or are W-2s? And it was about 45 to 55%, about 50% of the viewers were qualified for this. What is this? You only have to do a side gig. It doesn't have to be your only job. Let me give you an example. You work at Macy's, but you're also an Uber driver. Well, then you can get it for Uber. You can get it for your 2019 Uber money. Or you work at a delicatessen as a waitress, but you also do Airbnb. Oh, well, you can do it for your Airbnb. Let's say you have an Airbnb and a Lyft side gig. You have two side gigs and you have two schedule Cs. Well, you can do it for both of them. Yes, if you have separate accounts for both of them. So what's going on? EIDL is at sba.gov. That's SSambertAnthony.gov. You go on there and look for the economic injury disaster. It is set up specifically for people who do something like Uber or Lyft or something like that when the pandemic hit, and now they've been impacted by the pandemic. How much do you get? A lot of money. More than a stimulus check. Why are we talking about stimulus checks when we've been talking about this? It's a lot of money. It takes your 2019 Schedule C line 1, which lists your revenue. Let's say you did Uber and Lyft last year, made $6,000. You subtract from it line 2, which is cost of goods sold, and sometimes it's 0. Let's say it is 0. And that's $6,000. Divide by 3, divide by 2 is $3,000. The calculation is gross rev minus cost of goods sold divided by 2 equals the amount. Done. All you do is you go in and do the application and you'll have the money within about 5 days. Done. Now, what are the other things you need to think about before doing it? One, you need to pull your 2019 tax return and look at your Schedule C. I've had viewers say, I made $20,000 last year, but I did declare taxes on it. Well, that's sort of a serious problem there that I can't help. Sorry. I've had other viewers that say I made $35,000 last year, but I didn't put on Schedule C. I put it in the wrong way. Well, do a amended return. You did it the wrong way. But if you look at your Schedule C, you don't need a 1099. You do not need a 1099. Most people do not have 1099s. All you have to have done is declare this on your Schedule C, because they're going to ask for proof, potentially, that you actually made this income. Why? Because otherwise people just say, I made $100,000 last year. Give me $50,000 EIDL. Well, where's the proof? Oh, I don't have it. So you have to actually have proof that you actually did the work. And if you did the work and you have that income, then you're done. Now, there's one last thing you should do, which is go to Experian and check your Experian Advantage 3.0 score and ensure that it's over 570. If it's not, then you can do a boost, which is free, and it raises your Experian Advantage score by 25 points. And that could be thousands of dollars in your account right away. Finally, let's turn to that SSI, SSDI, Social Security benefits, the grants, and the big stimulus check. The president over the weekend says he wants to send out stimulus right away, and he was urging Mitch to do it. Yesterday, the Democrats were urging Mitch to do it. Today, Biden was urging Mitch to do it, and Mitch has been urging the Democrats to do it. So what could everyone agree upon? Repurposing CARES Act 1 money that's at SBA. It's categorically incredible because it's bipartisan. There's money that's sitting at SBA that's $800 billion of which that amounts to a $5,000 stimulus check that could land in your bank account within 10 days of executive order, if the president does it, push, 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 purple power, or by act of Congress as a standalone bill. It's great because it doesn't take a hit on the national debt. Mitch doesn't want to raise the national debt. This doesn't. It's repurposing existing money. Then there's a twist, and it's a really good twist. If you tuned in last night, I revealed to you that use or lose money from CARES Act 1 money is some of it starting to come back because they did lose it. It's coming back to the federal government. So that too can be repurposed as more stimulus check. All really good news. Then let's turn to SSDI, SSI, and Social Security benefits. Biden wants you to have $2,400 over start today, $2,600 of SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, and veterans benefits payments now. He wants it as a $200 per month payout every month until December 31st, which amounts to $2,400 to $2,600. He thinks you need this as an emergency stimulus check for this pandemic, but he's not done there yet. He also wants to give you a lifetime increase on your benefits up to 20%. Yes, so if you're making $1,000 now, he wants to give you $1,200. Then we're not done yet. One last thing. He wants to tie the benchmark for increasing your benefits every year away from COLA, that doesn't do much of anything and always keeps you flat and never increasing year to year, to a different benchmark, which would move you up faster and more in accordance with what's going on in the economy. All really incredible, great news. Then there's grants. A $50,000 Lifeline grant being proposed by Biden, a $10,000 grant for hazard pay, a $10,000 grant for EIDL, and then we have the CDC grant. There's so much out there. Those grants are thereafter. They're not money right now. That's money thereafter. That's why they're later in the broadcast, because I want to put at the front of this broadcast the money you can get right now. So to recap, money you can get right now, CARES Act 1 money, grant, that's available right now. Escalated benefits from your state has nothing to do with the federal government. You can get that right now. EIDL, get it right now at sba.gov. Money right thereafter, that could come in a few days or weeks, is if we have congressional action. Mitch McConnell needs to do a stimulus package, and Nancy Pelosi needs to agree to one. Why? Because PUA and UI are expiring. They're expiring in late December, and you need unemployment to continue. Mitch has offered $300 a week, which bringing you back to July, $300 a week of FPUC, which bringing you back to July up to the present would be about it's about $6,000, which you absolutely would need. And it doesn't make sense to reject it right now. It makes sense to accept it. He wants to do the problem solvers bill. That's also really good. He wants you to get EIDL and PPP. He wants you to get these things that don't cost a lot of money and puts money in your hands. He just doesn't want to give state and local bailouts so that they balance their budget. That's not the purpose of a stimulus package. That's not stimulating. That is something other than you. And so there is the renewed focus. We're going to get through this together. Go to the Fudge channel, subscribe. Subscribe because no one's finding you money better than me on this channel, as someone said in one of the comments earlier today. You're Mr. Grant. Mr. Grant was on Mary Tyler Moore. Also, like this video. It helps with the algorithm. Coming up next is Purple. Tune in for Purple Power Live, in which I answer your questions about the 3 programs, and we go over more about hazard pay. And then join me at 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for Early Mornings LA. As always, stay informed, stay smiling, and stay LA for more.